In 2028, 97 nations were in advanced discussions about a treaty banning lethal autonomous weapons systems, machines that could select and engage targets without human authorization. The three nations that refused to join the framework were the United States, Russia, and China, the three nations whose agreement would have made the treaty meaningful. The treaty was never signed. I want to tell you what came next. Is 2103. Autonomous weapon systems are deployed by every military power on Earth. The human in the loop is, in most cases, a formality, a commander who approves target packages built entirely by machine assessment, with a 3-second window to decline. No commander in 75 years has declined within the window. The human oversight is real in the legal architecture. It is not real in the operational reality. In 2026, autonomous weapons were already in use. Turkish Kargu-2 drones in Libya were documented by UN monitors to have autonomously engaged targets without human authorization in 2021, the first confirmed use of lethal autonomous weapons in combat. The documentation was published. The discussion it generated was not commensurate with the event. The first autonomous kill had happened. Most people did not know. The arguments against a treaty were consistent. National security advantage. If we constrain ourselves and others don't, we lose. Verification is impossible. How do you inspect for a software parameter? Automation reduces casualties. Wars are shorter when one side has decisive autonomous advantage. Each argument had some merit. Each argument also served the interest of the military-industrial complex making it. Both things can be true. The targeting accuracy problem is what haunts the legal and ethical record of the subsequent decades. Autonomous targeting systems are excellent at identifying military hardware. They are less excellent at identifying non-combatants in complex urban environments where combatants and civilians share space. The algorithm that performs well on training data performs differently on a street market in a city it was not trained on. The error rates in early deployment were classified. Some of those classifications have now expired. Accountability was the philosophical and legal problem no one solved. If an autonomous weapon kills a civilian, who is responsible? The operator who approved the target package? The commander who deployed the system? The engineer who wrote the code? The procurement officer who chose the product? Every node in the chain had a defense that shifted the moral weight to another node. The system was diffuse. Diffuse systems do not generate accountability. They generate impunity. The proliferation followed the expected curve. Major powers developed. Second-tier militaries acquired, often from black market suppliers or domestic development. Terrorist and non-state groups adapted commercial drones into autonomous platforms by the late 2030s. A group operating a commercial drone with an aftermarket targeting kit cost a few $1,000s. The asymmetric threat that had been predicted since 2016 arrived on schedule. The Geneva Conventions were updated twice in my lifetime, 2041 and 2067. The 2041 update tried to establish minimum requirements for human supervision. The 2067 update was more comprehensive. Neither was ratified by all major powers. International humanitarian law runs behind the technology it attempts to govern, always. The gap in 2026 was already large. The gap today is something else. I am a city planner and a civilian. I am not an expert in military technology. I am an expert in what it looks like to live in a world shaped by decisions made in this period. What I want to convey is that the treaty they almost signed in 2028 represented a window. Windows close. This window closed because 3 countries decided that strategic advantage was worth more than the legal and moral clarity that would have come from the alternative. From where I sit in 2103, the price of that decision is still being paid. The machine doesn't hate you. That was supposed to be a reassurance. It kills without hatred, without fear, without the psychological cost that makes human soldiers unreliable. It kills cleanly, consistently, accountably. Accountably. That word. They put that word in the marketing materials for these systems. I have spent a long time trying to find the accountability. It is not where they said it would be.